And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. How's everyone doing? I am very, very sorry for the delay. Just getting ready, getting all the screens prepped. We're going to be having a $1,000 giveaway. So let's just jump right into, well, Sean's very handsome face today. In 3, 2, 1. Boom. How's it going, you guys? Sean's right here as well. Sean, say hello to the crowd.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right, I am Bumblebees in your. How's it going, Jess? Well, who at RZ99? Ubby's in here. Tan is in here. Tan, I feel like it's been a while. Okie dokes. All right, so Sean, are you ready to get this party started?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the comments section too.
Okay.
So I'm on one of my other YouTube accounts that is subscribed to Mango, but I don't see you on my home screen, even though I'm subscribed. So guys, smash the likes. Okay, YouTube has clearly shadow banned Mango, so help Mango. Help Mango. Speak to the YouTube
help us
algorithm.
with the likes. Yeah, there we go. It believe it or not, guys, it increases reach. So yeah, that's gonna help.
Believe it or not, guys, it increases our motivation because that's the other than you guys giving us amazing feedback, right? It's one of the ways we can gauge whether what we're doing is actually appreciated or not, or if it's a waste of our time. So yeah, helps more than you guys think. Tan Swan says, nope, I've always been here. Ooh. Yeah, Tan San's he's consistent in every one of the C Clubhouse sessions as well. So I know that he'd be catching every one of the YouTube live streams too. Jess, is that Jess from Seed?
I feel like sometimes when I'm doing a live, I'm seeing the comments run, and I don't know, like Sean's really good at this, but I have to like focus on like multiple things, and I'm just really bad at doing that. So if you guys notice when the chat is on, I tend to miss a lot of questions. So my bad. Okie dokes. Let's jump in. Sean, should we start off with the $1,000 giveaway?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I
think who doesn't like giveaway?
Hey, you know what? I know it's a feel good thing. I think the markets are looking really, really good right now. Bitcoin, I believe, has broken out after tapping liquidity twice. We'll be going over this, but the $1,000 giveaway, guys, is going to be. Here's what we're going to do: 2 winners, 500 each, and of course, we're going to spin the wheel for this. Alrighty, so in 3, 2, 1, let's spin it.
I love this. Oh.
Okay, winner number 1 for $500. Your UID, BitUnix UID ends with 4137. Your prize money is going to be dropped into your accounts in 24 hours. Okay, so now this bonus you can use towards trading any coin that you want to trade, guys. This is going to help you drastically with your trades in terms of that upside gain. You get to win more, and well, it helps you also buffer against losses. Okay, so make sure you're taking advantage of this $137, $500 in the bag for you. So now the next one, let's spin for another 500. I forgot to do my drum roll. Alrighty, and boom. Alrighty, we got one more winner for another 500. 791. Sorry, go on, Sean.
There's a time where we had someone win twice, right?
Yeah, that was insane. I'll tell you the story. But first of all, this winner right here, 1171, your UID ends with 1171. Once again, prize is going to be dropped in your accounts within 24 hours. This is on your BitUnix UIDs. Okay.
But and yeah, it was almost happened again. I think we almost hit the same number again.
So what happened
could you
here
X that? Could you X the box? I think it's
So, okay, you see the remove, there's remove, right? Because if someone wins, they basically get taken off the list. So what happened the previous time is that someone won and I did not hit the remove button. So on the next spin, it ended up on him again.
I don't think we should remove. I think we should allow people to win twice. This is imagine that, though. Like, just make it a thing.
Okay, yeah. All right. For the next giveaway, we'll make it a thing. So yeah, these are the two winners. The winners, of course, I'm going to be attaching it in the description below, as well as I'll be giving you guys an announcement on the Discord chat. So yeah, tune into the Discord if you're not already in there. But of course, guys, these these giveaways are going to continue for, the rest of the month. We're going to try to keep up with it. The way you qualify is, just sign up for BitUnix using the link in the description below, because that's the only way I know that you've qualified, and deposit 50. That's it. Okay, 2-step process. Sean, I feel like Santa Claus. Sean's just there. He's like, all right. But yeah, I like these giveaways.
This is great. Like this is the thing I really wish I had when I started off my journey, because these kind of things, right, really set you up in the beginning of your journey, because the losses hurt that much more in the beginning when you're making stupid mistakes that are usually because of psychology or base fundamentals not being understood, right? The combination of the two end up being the most painful, but either one is where people get it really go wrong, right? Your base fundamentals just being completely off, and then after that, see, it's on the other spectrum, which is psychology, right? So all you need is the really, really strong base fundamentals, and then really, really strong psychology. Everything else is an exercise in, allowing yourself to grow over time. But you can get extremely powerful. This is what people don't understand. Extremely powerful if you just focus a lot on the strong fundamentals, like the base, and then on the psychology, right? And for that, you need practice on the charts. You need to actually be executing on trades. And this is where this really helps, because you're using the exchange's free money, free bonuses to buffer against your losses, right?
Yeah.
And then if you catch a win, it gets expanded.
Yeah, that's always a fear, right? Like, you see a trade set up and you're just like, what if it goes against me? What if the one time I take it, it goes against me? And you're trying to build conviction. You're trying to build more confidence in your trading strategies. So it helps with all of these things. So when you guys see these bonuses, the corner of the room, just grab onto it, because we have it not now, but we might not have it next cycle. Okay, so if you're getting it, use it. Use it. Trust me, it's going to help you so much, so much. Now let's get into Bitcoin. Do I have my timer on? I believe I have my timer on. We really like to talk to you guys, so we tend to like push it. But yeah, this is Bitcoin. Sean, I think I showed you my Bitcoin chart. Of course, if there's anything that you want to show the crowd, just let me know and I'll sort of share your screen. But this is something that I've been looking at now. I want to know everyone's thoughts, of course. Like, this has been playing out on the daily time frame, and I've been watching this really closely. Now, there's a bit of an observation that I also have on Bitcoin. Now, first of all, I know that I'm getting excited. I'm probably jumping all over the place. I'm probably running out of breath. You guys spot it. But no, I am excited. Bull market's still intact. I think we can all agree. But I've been watching this structure now for days on end. A falling channel, very classic, morphing into another bullish pattern, a reversal pattern. This one happened to be a head and shoulders pattern, but it was not just that. There's this bit of a signature, Sean, that I'm noticing. It's like a lot of these coins right now, they're putting in these structures, these bullish structures that are on the verge of breaking out. Some have broken out. Bitcoin, in my opinion, has broken out. But before they do that, it's like they tap into the liquidity, right? They pump price, tap into all those breakout buys, only to drop price down, right? And then we see that official breakout. And I feel like Bitcoin tried to do that, attempt it twice. We had one right here on September 5th, right before your birthday, right? And then we had one more. We had one more right here. Now, this wasn't they were not able to take this down any further. But Sean, in my opinion, I think Bitcoin is broken out here, and I'm looking at higher targets. What are your thoughts?
I think you nailed it. Those liquidity taps have been the name of the game for most of the cycle, and you can watch it as a wick over there, but if you increase and decrease the time frames, it boils down to one of the fundamental rules we've been using for this entire cycle, right? Is that allow for breakouts to break back into the range, right? I've been saying this. I'm like, guys, just keep this as a hard and fast rule for all of your trades, and you're gonna find yourself not getting shook out of trades, because if you try to play the breakouts and don't allow for price to come back into the range, you'll be exiting when the trade is actually the correct trade. And again, it played out the same way. We broke out, right? and then we broke back into the range, and then the price is drifting towards the upside. Again, if you guys are in the Mango seed program, institutional order flow will help you understand in a deep way the psychology behind all of this, right? You won't just be trading my theory that I'm giving you guys. Or I don't say theory, the setup that I'm giving you guys, right? You won't be just saying, oh, Sean's rule or setup is XYZ. It's hard to believe and follow a rule if you don't understand the psychology and the theory behind it, right? Which is why that institutional order flow module, last time I was telling you guys about how the people who succeed the most are the people who actually come back and rewatch modules, because it's easy to forget these things as time plays out, right? Because you would have executed on this perfectly in the previous cycle, and then as time goes on, because of all these narratives that keep getting pushed at you, right, you just forget the essence behind why these things work, and then you ignore them and you get baited into stupid mistakes. Again, strong fundamentals, that's all you need.
Yeah, I feel like there are certain lessons that you consider, it turns into a bit of a signature. Like every cycle has a bit of a signature, right? Now, one of the signatures of this one was basically what Sean just said, right? If you see a breakout, just be prepared for the tap back into the range. And this has been like one of the dominant set of signatures we've seen across the board this cycle, right? And you can see this play out even this time around. So yeah, revisit the seed lessons. Also, for those of you actually looking to jump into seed, of course, because in celebration of Sean's birthday, we always have the birthday coupons, the birthday discounts.
and we always get the birthday coupons wrong when we're displaying it. Because yeah, it's 2025. Last time we got the letter.
Oh yeah, damn. Clearly, I'm in the wrong year.
and last time
I'm in the wrong year.
We always
I really hope I didn't mess it up in the description. But anyways, the coupon code is BDay2025. Okay, works of course on the seed program. All the indicators works on everything right now. So use it. I believe it should be on for the next week or so. So yeah, this is the birthday coupon right here. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, guys, you know, Billy Barnes just said something. Sean does tangents best though, lots of alpha. And this is one of the, he just dropped a huge nugget here. When price breaks out, just be ready for it to tap back into that range. And oftentimes it's going to present you guys with some amazing bid opportunities. And as it did right here as well. Now, Sean, as far as targets concerned on this, I'm just looking at the most immediate target of the of the head and shoulders pattern, taking us all the way up to $119,000, $119,000 per BTC. Okay,
nice.
So we are, if this continues, and I think there's a likely chance that this actually continues to the upside, 119K getting up to that those all-time high levels, the previous all-time high levels. So this will be good, setting us up for something bigger. I'm just going through the chat, of course. Sean, of course, if there's anything that you guys, if you want me to check on Bitcoin, I'm so used to saying you guys. And for a change, now I got Sean next to me. So I got to pass.
Last time around, we were talking about what you have over here. Drawn. I'm not sure whether I did that live stream with you or if I did it on my own.
It was a solo. I think it was a solo. Yeah.
Where I talked about the 4-hour Ichimoku edge-to-edge trade, and then turning into the pattern trade for the head and shoulders pattern trade.
No, that was a duo. Never mind. I was okay, there.
And you guys are seeing how it played out exactly. Like it's this is what I love about TA. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, guys. I just get excited with all of this, is because if you guys go back and watch the stream, right, you guys will see how I broke down my mindset on how I see price playing out, and how the psychology of all the market participants with different theories come together to form structure. And we kind of drew out how a head and shoulders may form after the Ichimoku edge-to-edge trade may form, and how you get the trend traders, the Ichimoku traders, and the pattern traders all coming in excited for the same trade. And if you turn on your 4-hour Ichimoku, Kusha, you'll see it. It's what I love about TA so much. It's almost like magic, but it's not magic. It's psychology, and you can see that then. Like over here, it's hard to pinpoint the head and shoulders, right? But yeah, Kusha just drew it out for you because she's a pattern trader, right? It's so important to never discount anyone else's theory or their way of watching the charts, because you may not use it yourself, but it may confluence with what you're seeing with your techniques. And that's what's important, guys. You don't want to be right, because you could be right and the market could go the other way. You want to be with the market. You want to be in the direction of the market, right? And when does that happen? When everyone places their bets in the same direction. In the short term, it's a voting mechanism, right? And you want to be on that right side to make money. Being right is not important. Making money is important.
I love that. Right? It's a voting mechanism. I love that. Sean, I have a question for you. Now, this is something that I've been getting in the comments a lot as well. I think who said it right here? Sorry, I'm just going through the.
Like, could you hide your drawings just for a sec so people can focus on just the Ichimoku? I just want to show them how the setup is. Like, it's classic, right? It's not something that it's like it's not something special. We've been watching this for years now. The same thing. It's high probability. It's not certainty. Big difference. The rounded formation after falling channel into the TK cross and edge to edge Ichimoku trade, right? And boom, it again. I love TA because of this, and you guys know how much I study fundamentals. I love spending time when it comes to learning theory of everything. But when it comes to making money, TA is king. It's just.
I think I am Bumblebee sort of scored it here. He says, "Wait, can you guys see the chat?"
No.
I'm showing the chat right now. Show it on stage. There we go. Okay, yeah, there were some good conversations going on. I'm first going to tell you guys what I'm Bumblebee said. He's like, don't expect, I think you're replying to someone, don't expect the market to do what you want/need. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Better invest in education and get the psychology you need to survive this and future times. And that's bang on. That's bang on. People often sort of downplay the psychology aspect of trading. And, you know, when you really start, that's pretty much like, what, 70% of the game? Just like mastering yourself. Because that's ultimately what's going to sort of spill on over onto your execution. You know, you can get all your trades pat down, as in like get all your setups pat down, but if you fail to execute on them with a calm mind, it never really comes to fruition. You never really get anything out of it, right? So these takes education, takes practice, of course. But another thing that came up was by Baffew. Now, Sean, I've been getting this thing a lot in the comments section, and I was hoping that maybe you could shed some light on it. He says, seems like the market is waiting for the Fed rate cut. It's on hold. So that's what he said. And I'm also noticing a lot of people in the comment section on the daily videos, that is, saying that, okay, the market is just waiting on the Fed rate cut. Wait till October, wait till November, whenever the Fed rate cut is going to come in on the next FOMC meeting. What do you have to say about that? How does that change anything for the market? Do you think that's what the market is waiting for?
No, I don't. And we've explained the idea and the theory behind this multiple times, right? Where if the market already knows for sure that the Fed is... Okay, here's what I need you guys to internalize. It doesn't matter what you think the Fed is going to do. It doesn't matter what you think the Fed is going to do. What matters is the deviation between what the Fed does and what the market expects the Fed to do. That's all that matters. Write that down. Okay, the deviation between what the Fed does and what the market expects the Fed to do. Okay, so you thinking whether the Fed is going to cut or not cut, etc., it's a game in futility. So what your job is to first ask yourself, okay, what does the market expect the Fed to do? Okay, if the market expects the Fed to cut, and you can see expectations for a rate cut is 90% for one rate cut for 25 basis points, and then the Fed goes ahead and does that, then it's a non-factor. Nothing changes. Okay. Now, if the flip happens, where the market expects the Fed to cut and the Fed doesn't cut, there's a massive deviation in expectations. And what ended up happening, you're going to see the market react right to that. Now, there's another dimension to this, which is how I want you guys to always be thinking. And this is why these questions kind of go like, no, guys, don't think like this. Don't think like this. I want you guys to always be thinking months out, 3 months out, 6 months out. Okay. So the first order of thinking is what matters is the deviation between market expectations and what the Fed actually does. The second order of thinking is the deviation between what the market expects today and what you think the market is going to expect in the future, right? And this was illustrated with how Mango traded in the beginning of the year, 2024, 2023. We were like, okay, wait a minute. The market is expecting 6 to 7 rate cuts. The market is expecting 6 to 7 rate cuts. I think if the market is expecting so many rate cuts, things can only get worse from here in terms of expectations, not in terms of the market, but in terms of expectations. The market is expecting 6 rate cuts. I think personally, based on all the data I was seeing, that the market's expectations are going to drop down to 4 rate cuts as opposed to 7 rate cuts. I'm not talking about what the Fed is going to do. It's irrelevant to me. I think the market's going to change its mind, and they're no longer going to expect 7 rate cuts. So that needs to unwind, right? And that gave me edge in understanding that I can expect a pullback into the markets, position better, get those high lows, etc. Right? So let's recap how we can use that today. You can instead, you should instead be asking, okay, the market is expecting the Fed to cut once now in the most recent in the upcoming Fed meeting, but then they're expecting maybe 2 more rate cuts by the end of the year. I think that the market's going to change its mind on that, and we will get more than 2 or more than 3, right? Whatever your expectations of the market's changing its mind is going to be. So you guys need to be thinking, and I'm thinking 6 months out. I'm not thinking the next 3 months don't matter to me, because we've already positioned well. We've been talking about this in seed, clubhouse sessions, etc., right, for a while, how to position for the next 6 months, for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, however. That's what concerns me. And the next 1 year, I'm thinking 5 years out, in fact. That deviation between what the market is currently pricing in, or what the market currently expects, and how you think the market's going to change its mind as more information gets unfolded, that's your edge, guys. Okay? That's your edge, nothing else. It's kind of like sell the news.
I hope you guys are listening in on this. I think this is a very, very important topic to touch on, because I've noticed just way too many people come in with the same sort of comment, very similar undertones of, hey, the Fed is about to cut, just, get ready, buckle in, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, I'm just going through the comments, of course. Fed decisions have had less and less impact on trading. Because it's, I guess, to what Sean always says, right? It's already been priced in, especially if you already have the forecasts in. So Sean, do you, you just spoke about, thinking about what happens in that deviation of what the market is sort of expecting right now versus what it's going to be like in the future. Do you see any undertones of a massive deviation in, like a change in expectation? Or you're still waiting on data?
I'm looking to see how the whole Republican administration, how they are looking to play this takeover of the Federal Reserve. I'm looking to see how that plays out, and how the market reacts to how the Trump administration executes on that, right? That's gonna matter more to me, especially at this phase of the cycle.
Fair enough. Data incoming,
because you guys need to understand what the market is currently expecting is for a Trump takeover of the Fed, right? Everyone's talking about it. The market's expecting it, right? That he's going to be trying for that. Now, how they react to that is going to give us information, and then we can position for that, whether their reaction is edge for us to play the deviation that we come after, or whether it's a non-factor and we say, okay, cool, they reacted like this and I kind of agree with it. Something, guys, you don't need to be smarter than the market every time. You could just say, you know what, I agree with the market. There's no edge here, and just play something else, right? Play another factor that the market is mispricing. You make money not on trying to be a smart guy. You make money by figuring out mispricings, whether it be too expensive or too cheap.
Yeah. Okay, I hope you guys are taking some nuggets away from this. And speaking of, well, the market, I've been looking at sentiment for those of you who've been following the dailies. So, in fact, it was Sean who sort of brought this one up. He basically told me about crypto fear and greed, and he sort of drew my attention to the fact that he says, "Krisha, check out every time crypto fear and greed was underneath the 40 percentile mark, essentially inching either neutral or bearish, right?" So this is currently at all, but let's just go through the past 1 year, right? 1 year of crypto fear and greed. And now we're sort of, we've inched out of that 47, basically over that 40 percentile mark. However, every time we've sort of been in the zone of neutral and fear through the past 1 year, believe it or not, guys, so now we are at that juncture right now, okay, as far as sentiment is concerned. The other time we were at, well, crypto fear and greed was at neutral, basically below that 40 percentile mark, was back in June of this year, okay, June of this year. The other instance was back in March and April of this year once again. Okay, that was during my birthday slump. And then the one before that was in October of last year. Okay, there was a bit of, there's some really, really good precedent, I guess, of what price ends up doing when sentiment is, well, either at neutral or crushed at fear. Right, so I was going over the data when Sean sort of brought this up to my attention. I'm like, let's go ahead and check out what did price end up doing, when sentiment was sitting at these low levels. So I got on over to, well, some of the higher time frames, is basically to help me figure out a bird's eye view on what really happened, getting out of those phases. So now we're currently here, right? Crypto. Let me just get a new chart, actually. Is this the good? Okay, this is good. This is fairly neat. Okay. So right now, crypto fear and greed. Now remember, this is the first data point, right? Right now, crypto fear and greed, we know that it's at neutral. The second time was in June of this year. June of this year, guys, was right here, right before Bitcoin actually rallied all the way up to all-time high to $122,000, right? It was us sort of, that was the beginning of that next impulsive move. Then the other instance was right here, basically March, April of this year once again. And that was it. This is where sentiment was once again at neutral or even at fear. At this point right here, sentiment actually dropped to fear, right? Then the other instance where in this past 1 year where sentiment was once again below that 40 percentile mark, okay, was October, right? September, October. There we go. There we go. So you're seeing a bit of a trend here in a way, right? Sentiment getting crushed. And oftentimes, like, this is something that even Sean says, Krisha, how often do you see markets top off when sentiment is so low? Everyone is just bracing themselves for the markets to reverse. Everyone is ready for, well, hey, this might be the reversal. There's still a bit of undertones of fear, bearishness. And in the past few bull runs, if you really think of Bitcoin at $60,000, Bitcoin at $20,000 in 2017, it was mainly euphoria the entire time, right? It was euphoria. People were not willing to just throw in the towel. They're like, no, this is going to go back up. I have people calling me saying that, no, should I be buying the dip? People who don't otherwise even look at crypto, right? They don't even forget crypto. They don't even look at Bitcoin, right? The big daddy of them all. They're like, should I be buying right now? Should I buy right now? There was none of that. Considering that Bitcoin is currently sitting at $114,000 and probably even looking for higher targets now with what's happening on the lower time frames. I think, Sean, these are good signatures, I guess, through a sentiment standpoint that could see this run continue even further. It doesn't seem exhaustive. Let's put it that way. Price action doesn't seem exhaustive, but even sentiment across the board doesn't seem exhaustive.
Yeah, I'd agree. We have to be careful to not isolate sentiment analysis and say, hey, I'm going to constantly countertrade sentiment, right? That could get you into trouble. But when you use it in conjunction with everything else that we've been seeing, and if your thesis is that the bull market is still intact, and you can boil down a simple thesis to saying, hey, if bull market intact, then each time sentiment drops down to around 35 to 39-ish, right, somewhere around there in that zone I marked out for you guys, that has been a good buying opportunity for a cyclical play, provided the bull market is still intact. As soon as we get signals, though, saying that, hey, this is not looking good, we are losing technical signals that we preset at the beginning of the cycle, we lose those signals. At that point, you can't be counter trading sentiment, because sentiment can go down. You may get a bounce, right? And the trend will continue to go down, right? Like sentiment can stay down for a very, very, very long time. You'll get temporary bursts up, but those bursts are still going to lead to only lower highs compared to price. So what I'm trying to say at that point is you have to kind of flip how you trade the sentiment, right? If you want to, and we'll be here at Mango to guide the community through that phase. But if at the moment we're using sentiment as a way to position for cyclical spot trades, then in the bear market, this is where things get fun. We use sentiment to position for lower time frame trades as opposed to cyclical trades, right? And you keep stacking in a bear market, collecting Bitcoin for that, collecting XRP, collecting Cardano, whatever you guys want to use as your long-term base. It becomes that much easier, guys. It becomes that much easier. And again, you just have to navigate it well. You can't get too gung-ho on holding on to positions for too long, etc. But yeah, same thing, but you reverse the positioning duration.
Yeah, and I like the whole thing of being able to find that confluence between sentiment and even what price action is telling you. Don't ever look at one thing in isolation, because don't get this twisted. Sentiment even dropped to fear right here. Okay, sentiment even dropped to fear right here. Right.
Oh, hey,
so
Neeti Such just joined the Mango C program. Welcome to the family, Neeti. And reach out to Kusha or me to get set up with your private access to the seedling chats, your indicators, and etc. Yeah, the exclusive seed indicators, which are, by the way, the Mango Delta X. I'll be doing a review of that very, very soon, but it's time to be paying attention to that as well, guys. Because remember, we're going to be and have been using that for our cyclical positioning, and we want to continue to keep an eye on it, especially for the bear market to come. Do not ignore that. Isaac says, I think Sean mentioned that in a bear market, one can make more money than in a bull market. How is that possible? No, you can, of course you can, with leverage, you of course you can. But what I said specifically, okay, what I said at the time, what you're referring to is, I said that with the bear market, if you play the bear market, then at the end of the next bull market, you're going to look back and be like, holy crap, thank God for that bear market, because without that bear market, I would not have made that much more money so easily in the bull market. So what I'm trying to say is, if you play cycle end to end, where you play the bear market well, it's much better than just playing only the bull market, right? I've asked Krisha too, like every time she dreads the bear market coming, I'm like, Krisha, look back at the previous bear markets, okay, and how it turned out for us. Now, would you have preferred being asleep for either of the bear markets? Basically, you take them away and you just got teleported into the bull market. Would you have rather that? And she's like, holy shit, no, you're right. Right, Kusha?
So yeah, you should go through the mental sort of decision making with this scenario that Sean presented.
Yeah,
it'll reveal a lot.
Believe me, it feels like it. And by the way, I'm human too. I don't want. I rather I go through the same feelings as well. But when I look back, I'm like, had we not broken down, right, from 6K to 3K, if I'd not caught that trade, right, I would not. Firstly, that trade set me up really well, and then we got the massive trade from 3K to 14K, right? Of course, we didn't exit at 14K; it was like around 11K, and then we got the COVID move too to like, you know, guys, everything as bad as it may seem, if it's coming up, whether in 6 months, 1 year, we don't know, right? We'll see the signals. you're gonna be glad at the end of it all, right? If you, Isaac, you were here during the initial phases, right? Imagine if you had followed Mango's principles through the bear market, because you were watching by the time you weren't like a full Mongolian yet. Imagine if you had followed the Mango principles and caught the trade with us at around 17 to 19K after exiting at around 42K to 48K, right? Where Kusha is kind of circled out at the moment. That was around the time where we were like, all right, it sucks, but Santa did not give us what we wanted in regards to how we wanted the monthly to close. So we got to start flipping mindset. Then suddenly you're sitting flush at the bottom of the bear market to really start going aggressive when you get your technical signals. And then you're like, whoa, because I was able to position at 16 to 18K, right? I got another almost 10x trade at the end of this now, because had price just kept going up from 50K to where we are right now. That's only like a 2x, right? That's not much. But yeah, we had to sit through downside, but we executed well on it. We kept Mango, didn't get too biased or anything, followed simple signals. And now look at us for it now, right? You're always going to be happy that the bear market played out if you execute well on the bear market. That's all I'm saying.
Because you would have caught this entire thing and be sitting very, very pretty. So yeah, these are great golden nuggets, Sean. Thank you. And yeah, guys, we're going to be attaching timestamps, of course, to the Bitcoin story that Sean just laid out for you guys. So yeah, if you guys want to revisit that, that'll be there. Now, I was thinking of jumping. We're running out of time, so I figured we would jump right into the altcoins. Okay, we got some really good bird's eye view. Bitcoin still within bull run territory. We got crypto fear and greed at a level that has often, sort of at least through this cycle, has led to those next impulsive moves. Okay, so that's looking up too. We got the lower timeframes on Bitcoin also looking good. So with this, we can get into the altcoins. Let's do that. So I'm going to start off with the Mango dashboard. I have XRP, of course, on the list because it's in the title, and I always feel very, very bad when I do not give you the coins that are currently on the title. So first thing I want you guys to notice here is market-wide trend and volatility on the dashboard, by the way. Currently long, basically bullish. But volatility, 37, very healthy. This is what you want to see when you're looking for those trade setups. You want to see that, okay, this is where those impulsive moves begin from. All right, so now I feel like the dashboard is really laying it out. It's like, guys, look at me. So yeah, dashboard, guys, of course, you guys can find it on app.mangoresearch.co. And yes, where is that? The birthday coupon works on here as well. Okay, B-Day 2025 is the coupon code. So please use it if you are signing up for anything, whether it's the dashboard, the indicators, or even the programs. Alrighty, so now with this, let's get into XRP's trend and volatility profile. What I really like here, Sean, check this out. 4 hour to daily, we got longs across the board. And more importantly, the volatility profile. Now, I did publish a XRP video yesterday, so we're not going to be going over this too much. Okay, volatility profile, very healthy, telling you that XRP actually sees continuation. Or rather, the bulls have a lot more juice still left in them. Okay, to take this up even further. What I like about the XRP trend right now, guys, is for those of you who've been following the analysis, you guys know that I've been looking at the 12-hour time frame to really help us get into trades as well as help us get out of trades. All right, 12-hour dynamic is where those impulsive moves really stem from. All right, and just managing your trades on here, super duper easy. So for as long as we're living over the 12-hour dynamic, trade on. Okay, I'm looking at this as a really, really good bid opportunity. So for those of you who actually want the level on here, honestly, any score between $2.96 down to $2.90, this is going to be the entire bid zone. Of course, we're invalidated on this trade as soon as XRP starts breaking the 12-hour dynamic to the downside. Keep it that simple. All right. You guys have my targets already. I'm looking at $7 first stop.
It's looking really good.
Yeah, it's looking really good. $7 first stop, $15 next stop. And hey, if this continues, if we got, if the bull run continues, $23. I'm still looking at that target for those of you wondering. Okay, next coin. Sean, do you have a request?
Yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Sui, Kusha.
Let's go. Sui. Dashboard first. people like, I know Wolvie is in the chat right now.
Could you just backspace? Just take a quick. I want you guys to do this. I spoke about this in the previous stream. Yeah, just do a color analysis, guys. Right, it's a great way to gauge how you should be trading the markets, and then go ahead and look at sentiment. All right, it's such a nice thing to do. Do it first thing when you wake up in the morning, and one more time before you go to bed. It really checks your biases, right? When you see lots of greens, lots of blues, right? Or the opposite, if you're seeing lots of reds, lots of blues, you should know, like, there's a guide as well. Use the guide. But blue volatility means volatility compression that leads to volatility expansion. And in the last live stream I did solo, I went into a tad bit more detail on this, right? Where I said, guys, we're seeing a lot of single digit volatility numbers, and we're seeing enough greens on there for us to start getting positioned earlier than the rest of the market. And now we're seeing the market do exactly that. It's not my opinion, right? What I was doing over there was listening to the data. So you're being objective in regards to sentiment, and not based on, oh, I'm really feeling down about the markets. And if you do this as a practice every morning, every night, every morning, every night, suddenly you start becoming in sync, where your feeling and your intuition is actually based on what the market has been doing. And you're kind of moving your emotions with the market. And then you're kind of like thinking, hey, wait a minute, why is everybody feeling so down? Like, I'm feeling the complete opposite, right? But you're feeling the opposite because you're without realizing it, you're being data driven. So yeah, do a color analysis.
But that's the thing, right? And I like this color analysis. Traders' intuition, guys, is a real thing, but you cannot just use traders' intuition as an excuse when you're not really in tune with the market. One way in which you can do this is basically what Sean said. Without even knowing it, you're sort of data driven, right? Even your intuition is data driven. So it's very important. But even though there is something called traders' intuition, that does not absolve you from actually having your invalidations around your trade, a rule set around your trades. So don't conflate the two, okay? Because that can lead to like disasters for your portfolio. But yeah, I like this. These are like really cool things. These are that was Sean, even I didn't know about the whole color analysis that you just spoke about. So that's actually a really good way to look at it. You get a good sort of vibe for the market.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Sui, I've been doing this every day for like months now.
Sui. Is this even on? Let's just see if it's on page 1. This is ranked, by the way, by trading volume. I covered WorldCoin, by the way, which I think that chart actually looks really good. Okay, Sui's actually on page 1. Cool. Sui right here. Okay, hey, Sean, this looks nice. We got 4-hour and 12-hour long. Okay, which is good. We're seeing follow through, but I'm seeing the Sean volatility reset right here. So can the bulls take this up? I think they can. Only even to the 12-hour volatility, 24. Very good. No concerns as far as flags are there. So yeah, let's go ahead and go on.
So I wanna give since I'm trading Sui, I wanna interject my thoughts over here for other folk. So the way I look at this, guys, when I see something like this is telling me that, okay, you know what, this might be trending on the higher time frames. It's clearly not trending on the dashboard's higher time frames, right? It's neutral, not bad, might be consolidating. So you want to be looking for the trend on the higher time frames. If that's looking a-okay, by all means trade it. But at the same time, you know that this is sandwiched between the higher time frames that lead to momentum, right? So you don't have the momentum trade just yet. You have the, hey, I can start accumulating it because the super higher time frame that's looking intact, we're in the bull market, etc. But I won't want to overposition on this and then get frustrated if it doesn't run while other things are running. So you want to get that initial position in on this if you like it. If everything else is okay, right? You want to get the initial position on this, but don't over allocate to things like this, guys, because you may not get the move as fast as you want. If you're okay with that and you've understood yourself psychologically that things may run and it won't bother you, then do it. Then get a heavy position on this and be like, I'm patient. That's my edge. I'm more patient on the rest of the market. I'll build a thick position. But don't complain if you're not that kind of person. Trade yourself as well. Don't just trade a personality that you can't gel with.
Okay, that is amazing advice. Freaking rewind that if you have to. Listen to that one again. Don't And that's the thing, right? You need to understand yourself. You also need to understand your expectation in a moment. I got a question, Sean, in my comment section today on one of the videos that I did recently. I think it was XRP. He's like, should I be trading XRP on leverage right now? Should I basically just put it on, like basically a good 5 to 10x leverage trade? I'm like, this, if you take on leverage trades, especially high leverage, not recommended, by the way, we do not do that here. And you're looking for that price continuation without really getting the right signals, and that, hey, you know what, we're sitting in a good bullish territory where we could actually see prices rally, you're going to be left disappointed. Okay, you're going to be left disappointed. That's when you get like butterfingers with all of your positions and you end up sort of losing everything. And that's when like many of your trades can go south, because there's a whole psychological aspect to even trading on a leverage as well. So when you're building your positions, whether even if it's a spot position as well, be very cognizant of how you want to play this. Consider a holistic sort of thing with your position, in that, yeah, you're looking for prices to go up, but hey, there's a chance that prices also go down. Are you ready for that? There's a chance that price moves sideways. And well, you don't have prices move sideways. Sorry, this is my timer just went off. But yeah, there's a chance that prices move sideways, and well, the other coins that you were looking at actually rally while yours is still moving sideways. So you have to be very like aware of these little sort of nuances with building your portfolios and stuff. So yeah. Now, so did we look at the SUI chart already, Sean? Or did we just look at the dashboard?
Just the dashboard. We've been going on tangent after tangent.
My bad.
It's my fault, though. No, it's my fault. Apologies.
No, I think these are good psychological sort of lessons that, well, you guys can you can learn from our mistakes, okay? That's what trading, I feel like, is about, right? Just learning from someone else's mistakes. Hey, you know what? All indicators off. I like this, man. Just through pattern, just through price action perspective, of course. Patterns are what? Just price action. You're trying to sort of figure out, well, who's got the edge here? Is it the bulls or the bears? Bulls have this, man. They have this in the bag right now. We got a massive ascending triangle formation. This breaks out. And hey, this entire zone right here, this was the massive bid, right? This breaks out. We're looking at targets of $10 per SUI. Sean, I think this looks good. Do you see anything lining up with this entire zone? Okay, well, we've reclaimed that 12-hour dynamic support, which is good. But the 2-day was the main game. Just I feel like managing any trade off of the 2-day time frame has been very easy, in that even if it breaks, it gives you a really good way to sort of get out of the position with a minimal loss, or even break even, and hey, even a profit. Okay, you can see that throughout this entire consolidation phase, every time it's broken the 2-day dynamics, it's come up to give you a retest to help you exit safely. So I think this looks good. This looks like it's going to rally to the top of that resistance band at around $4. Breaking $4, we're off to 10. Let me go. And of course, guys,
potential target on SUI for $40. This is a live stream only special target, guys. I won't be saying this. Maybe I'll do a daily video and talk about it. But don't discount a number as high as around 35-ish to $40 SUI as well. So there's risk to the upside as well, right? Where you don't want to be selling too early and not having, or rather, you don't want to be selling all of your position, too much of your position, and then not having even a small position for the much higher targets. So yeah. I think there is good enough reason to hold on to a bit of your position, depending on your risk tolerance, for even higher targets. Of course, like clearly sentiment at Mango is bullish here, because we're not talking about risk to the downside here. We're talking about risk to the upside. But the risk to the downside, you guys should know how to manage at this point. That trend line that Kush has drawn is very clear, right? We don't want to be losing that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is SUI.
Let's do HBAR next. We've been getting a request for HBAR by one of the...
Yeah, HBAR and also XLM. And also, guys, if you're looking to take any of these trades, don't forget bonuses. I believe there are bonuses currently on BitUnix. Of course, you deposit $2K, you're getting $400 back. For those of you actually trading on Blowfin as well, there are bonuses as well on that exchange. Okay, both the links are in the description below. Of course, you can only get the bonus if you use the link. So free money, guys, to put on these trades with. I mean, look at the freaking dashboard right now. It's literally screaming at you, yo, look at me. There might be a pretty sweet trade setup. Okay, so when you're getting cash to put on the trade, use it. Okay, dokes. HBAR. Let's do HBAR quickly. HBAR USDT. Okay, longs, 4 hour, I don't know, Sean, 4 hour, 12 hour long. Okay, seeing some follow through, not much. Volatility hour 44, 46. This looks like it's almost at I don't want to say at resistance, but
so I want to know what the chat thinks. Like, what do you guys think now, based on everything that we've taught you in regards to dashboard in today's live stream? If you guys have been paying attention, just say HBAR yes/no, right? So go HBAR yes, HBAR no, right? This is, or you could even say neutral, right? I just want to know what the chat thinks.
So yes for bullish, no for no. So basically, yes, this is a trade that they would take, and no, this is a trade that they would not take.
Yeah, I just want to know, because I want you guys to learn, right? And best way is to be like, there's no right or wrong answer when these questions are being posed, because it's your analysis. But putting it to the test is how you get better and quicker at it. Tree Dicklet says, "Yo, dudes, have you seen AVAX?" Bro, I've been keeping an eye on AVAX ever since you asked for it on the last live stream. And I was like, wait a minute, AVAX is actually looking good. Right? Remember, we identified that structure and the neckline. So I've been keeping an eye on it. Ariza says yes. And okay, that's good. Waz says neutral. Okay. Running Truck says, I love you, Crash. I love you, Sean. I love you too, man.
I love you too.
Love right back at you. So this is the kind of chart, guys, that I would look at, and I would lean more towards Waz over here. And the reason for that is not because Ariza's answer is wrong, because Ariza is saying yes. I would say neutral because the weekly is saying short, right off the bat. But look at the corner of the screen, guys, and you see that the market-wide trend is long and volatility is down. We've already established through our color analysis and that reminder on the top right-hand corner saying the market is long. So market is clearly bullish. That's our bias. The market's bullish. I can't be bearish on any altcoins, like specifically, especially when I'm seeing the lower time frames on HBAR flip. 4 hour and 12 hour is long, and the 12 hour is a good gauge. 12 hour has been long for 2 days now. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm like, okay, we might start seeing lower time frames on this press against HBAR's mid time frames. And for all I know, the monthly on HBAR might look great. So when I see this entire picture with the right-hand corner as well, guys, it's very important for me to go on over to HBAR and immediately start off with the monthly time frame. That's what I'm interested in. I'm like, how's the monthly looking? Okay, that is going to guide me. That's how I want you guys to look at it. Yeah, go for it, Kisha. I kept reading that as Mr. Scratch Happy. Mrs. Scratch Happy is happy that we did it. Yeah, I got the HBAR request in just for you. Chip says, can we look at HBAR the same as a few years? We're looking at HBAR right now, but maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. Can we look at HBAR the same?
I'm just gonna sort of draw this out. Monthly, I don't know if you caught that. Monthly relative to dynamic levels looks good. If you're looking at monthly, even relative to, say, just very basic SNR, that also looks good. We held. Okay,
I see what you mean now, Chip. I'll answer your question a bit. I have to remember to answer it.
This candle is looking. I know a lot of people are asking for XLM in the chart, but in the chat, but this monthly, rather, is looking a lot like XLM as well. I don't know. I mean, think about it. We're even holding the 10 simple moving average, so I think it's good. It's good. Like, I feel like if there is a bounce coming in, it would come in right here. And ideally, that's what I personally would want to see. I'd want to see HBAR actually bounce at this very critical juncture, which is the monthly 10 simple. This could actually rally. We could see a breakout. There's a massive bullish cup and handle on the monthly. So yeah, this, I don't know, Sean, your thoughts? I think this looks good, personally.
Yeah, it looks fine. I feel like they're easier trades, but I do want to answer AdShip. Says he's saying, can we look at HBAR the same as a few years? Basically, what he's saying is it fair to look at HBAR as a few years ago? Essentially, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I think he's saying, is it fair to compare the price action since it's been diluted so much? The thing about the charts, right, guys, is that if you're looking at them objectively, the charts are agnostic to dilution, because what the charts are telling you is the charts are a representation of buyer and seller behavior, right? So if you're asking, is it fair for me to compare a horizontal or resistance level from all the way back then to today? Yes, it is, because unless the people it's as simple as this. If there are buyers and sellers trapped at that breakdown point, Kushal, can you like mark out that level where this is the monthly. The monthly broke the 10 simple moving average, right?
Oh, here.
Yeah. So okay, that is where I'd be interested right off the bat. And look at that. That's where we saw a rejection too. Wow. TA works, guys. It doesn't matter dilution, no dilution. It works because that's the monthly 10 SMA that we got the breakdown in, and that's where you should have been like, I'm done. I'm not interested in this market. You should not be losing the monthly 10 SMA. At the very least, sell half of your alt position, right? So if there are traders out there who did not do that or sold only half and then forgot to sell after that because they got too busy with life, they are trapped there, right? Now, you can keep that simple as, if the market comes back and gives them an opportunity to sell there, they might be inclined to do so because they're like, I sat through this for years. This is my break-even sell. I'm going to sell some at the very least. Maybe it goes up higher. Maybe I'll take profits higher after that, but I'm going to be looking to take profits somewhere, at least somewhere here, because I've been sitting in it for so long, right? So you have bag holders there. And this may or may not be true, by the way. Maybe the whole market sold there. But what you need to understand is if the traders like me who are thinking that there are other people who are going to be selling over there, that's enough. That's enough, because I'm like, okay, I'm taking profits because I think people are going to be bag holders there. There might be no bag holders, but I'm selling. So other traders are going to be thinking the same way. And then there are traders who are going to be thinking, there are traders who are going to be thinking that, right? So second order of thinking is also, there are traders who are going to be thinking that, and they might be wrong, but it doesn't matter. So it's like self-fulfilling. And that's why TA works, because you might have trapped investors there. Then you have traders who are playing those trapped investors, and it doesn't matter. As traders, I don't know. I guess this is the first I'm hearing about HBAR having dilution. I don't care. I'm selling there either way because I think people got trapped there. Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you take the trade now with the weekly short? I wouldn't take the trade. Exactly. Jay, I personally would not take this one. But some people like HBAR for the fundamentals, right? It doesn't matter if you're long-term bullish on HBAR and the monthly is looking great to you. If you believe in HBAR's fundamentals, I don't know anything about HBAR to have an opinion on that, but there are market participants who are not just trading in it, they're investing in it. Good morning, Jay. Right back at you. I did see your PM, by the way. I've not been able to check my PMs. I've been really busy. Krishna are planning for a trip soon, so we've been packing, etc. So yeah, I will get to all the PMs, guys. I apologize if I've not been responding on time. I need a trade. I get paid today. Yeah, let's give him a trade, Michelle. AVAX might be a good trade, actually, believe it or not. But you guys should keep an eye on BNB as well. I've been saying it for a while, but it's drifted now from 765 since I did the video to like 900, 725.
We'll cover a couple more alts. We're just gonna do two more, guys. Okay, and then we'll have to wrap because we're way past time. AVAX. Okay, I mean it's long. Okay, it's looking bullish.
Freshly long. Look at that. Freshly long across all time frames.
All it's telling me though. Yeah. Sorry. Go on, Sean. I don't want to cut you off. My bad.
No, I cut you off. I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah, bullish across the board, except for the 4-day time frame. I think that could flip as soon as we start seeing, more. As soon as we start seeing follow through from the bulls. But right now, volatility is telling me that we could be up against some kind of resistance. So if you guys are looking to, well, jump in on the AVAX trade or looking to build further into your positions, you might actually see a better bid on this. So, but let's go ahead and look at the chart. You always never want to trade anything in isolation. Try and sort of add more juice. Never mind. Never mind that, well, never mind the resistance. This looks like a breakout, eh, Sean? Look at this.
Looks amazing.
Looks
really
amazing. Good. Looks amazing.
We got to keep an eye on 3 Diglets' requests.
Yeah.
Don't fade his requests.
That's why I really like the live streams, eh? Like I think of how many nuggets we found just on live streams because you guys request them. So we found some amazing charts. Now this looks like a massive breakout of a minor double bottom formation. Of course, and we have something much bigger here. And I think 3 Diglets, I think we went over this, right? And maybe the last few live streams. But we're looking at this massive sort of channel that AVAX is currently sort of trading in. Now if we like plot this on the measured move, I mean, this could be gearing for, I mean, this has already broken out, make no mistake of that, but this could be gearing for the breakout of that massive channel. Something to watch out for. But yeah, breakout on AVAX, we're looking top of the range coming in at $40. This looks good. Good catch. I know he's been looking at it for the past few months now, Sean. I want this to perform only for you, 3 Diglets. Like AVAX, let's go.
It's gonna do it. I think that's what we talked about in the live stream. I think the solar one, where basically this W-like formation breaks into the channel, the top of the channel, and the top of the channel has a chance of breaking out. Like this could cascade big time, right? But still be careful at the top of the range.
Yeah, because this is the target. This is the target for the thing. The double bottom, the minor W. Every time I say double bottom, people are like, no. But yeah, if this plays out, channel plays out, this target could be $136. Of course, these macro targets, guys, they don't play out. Like, be very careful on how you sort of position for the trend trades that we present, because even getting to 136 is a trend trade that you're trying to play. So understand that there's always going to be that ebb and flow of price action, pullbacks along the way before you actually get up to the target. People often sort of just get butterfingers getting into before price even hits the target. So yeah, just heads up on that. Great. I'm just going to do one more altcoin. Now, here's the thing, Sean. We either do XLM, got a lot of requests for XLM. This one guy asked for XDC. What is that?
Didn't you just do an XLM daily?
I did one a couple of days ago, but I kind of spooked. That weekly candle looks so bad. Just like, what is this candle? This looks like death. So I gave them like a bearish tilt on that because I hated that candle so much. I'm like, this does not look good. But no, I gave you guys a good analysis on XLM. Like, it still stands, okay? So just look at that weekly. We start closing more weeklies above. Let me just go there very quickly. Just give it to you in like 10 seconds.
I mean, it doesn't look good, to be honest, but that's support level.
Good, yeah, good. See that? You see that? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. This candle looks so bad. That looks so nasty.
XLM like picked by PayPal or something like that for?
Yeah. So I feel like if this rallies, it could be like a let's say a factor of the entire market running as a whole. But ultimately, I'll only start really getting bullish, like properly. Hey, this is going to break out into higher targets bullish. As soon as we start clearing out the 10 SMA to the upside, I want to see candles live over that region.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's what I personally would like to see. I want to see that. That would be a show of strength for me. Okay, does that mean that you cannot just trade the range? Of course, you can trade the range. I mean, even from the dynamic to the 10 SMA, that was a 10%, if I'm not wrong, 15%. So trade the range, do that for yourself. If you like playing XLM, that is. But hey, 10 SMA.
So Tan says it looks good on the monthly. Can I take a look at the monthly?
Sure thing.
You hide all the horizontals. Yeah, like, I think XM. So XRP, I've asked people to look at the weekly at the minimum, and bi-weekly is where I'd like for you guys to be trading that. I think XLM might be the monthly. Tan is likely right on this one. And Kusha, look at that. Where your cursor is, that's the level they should be watching. But above that, the horizontal is clear, right?
Yeah.
Imagine breaking out of that range. Like it could happen in a single figure. We've seen XLM surprise. Right? I've been on the other side of exiting an XLM trade, and literally 12 hours later, it pumps 155% in my face. Something like that. Was so brutal. I just exited and then it pumped. So after being in the trade for so long, XLM does that. The monthly candle, the monthly range there. Where would that measured move be, Kusha? As a pattern trader, you'd help us with a target there?
For which pattern? There are multiple ones.
I'm just looking at this massive range.
The range. Yeah, I'm looking at this. This looks like a freaking ascending triangle formation here. Yeah, if we just look at this, be a bit more conservative with the targets as well. On the ascending, this could be $20. Around $8. Conservative on the ascending triangle, $8.
That smaller blue zone that you have marked there goes from 12 to 20. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. 12
That's
to $20.
That's how fast things move at the end.
Yeah. Sean, people are asking, how was your birthday?
Oh, it was freaking so good. Kusha arranged this entire staycation at a Zen resort kind of thing, where had the whole freaking 2-hour massage and jacuzzi and steam, and yeah, it was just such a just calming experience. The whole place, the whole resort was really good, and the food, yeah, it was so good. And,
don't worry, guys. I spoiled your boy.
The biscuits, it was also good. The smallest things.
Spoiled and rotten. Okay, cool beans. Yeah, so we'll be covering many of the other altcoins in the dailies. I intend on covering more obscure altcoins that I don't usually cover, because I do believe we're getting into a bit of a risk-on phase on the altcoins. I could be wrong. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm going to come out here and tell you guys that, hey, I am wrong. And this cycle, this altcoin season has gone bust. But you guys know where my thesis on, the market, especially the alts picking up steam, comes from. I'm looking at the total 2 chart. I quite like that. We've seen a breakout. If the markets rally into the end of the month, we could see an official breakout. And I think it's game on. And it's so classic crypto, eh? Not classic crypto. I think I would be trivializing your analysis, Sean, that you've been on point with. Guys, you need to understand, Sean's been freaking on point this entire cycle. Past 2 to 3 years, if you've been following him, you've made a lot of freaking money. If you're not following him on Twitter, what are you doing? Follow the guy on Twitter. Sean Dexter is his handle. I believe it's in the description. But he got you into the Bitcoin trade back when it was $17,000.
Yeah.
Okay. He even spoke about the 6-month cycles. He presented that, I believe, to the seedlings in the mastermind calls that happens every Thursday. Today was Thursday. But yeah, it happens. So he presented the whole 6-month cycles to you guys, basically he even told me this when Bitcoin is sitting at 17K. He said, Krisha, I feel like this market is gonna move in bursts. And that's essentially what we've seen all freaking cycle, bursts. But if you were ready for that, you had the mindset for that, you positioned for that, and hey, it's been a pretty good cycle, okay? You're looking at this through a bird's eye view. Whoever rode the entire thing with us, you guys are sitting pretty. And I want this to be everyone's status quo. We're going to come out here and make sure that everyone's making money to the best of our ability, of course. But yeah, give him a follow. Sean Dexter is his handle. Sean, any final words? I'm saying final words like you're never going to come back on live stream.
Yeah,
say
I'm thinking about my final words with that in mind. This might be my final time on live stream. No, I do want to say a few things with regards to the mindset people should have at this phase of the cycle. It's not as cut and dry as it was back when I posted on Twitter, actually saying that this is when you guys should start buying. We have massive upside in front of us. It's It's very easy because of the time element in terms of the amount of time you had for price to move in your direction, right? Now we are at a delicate juncture where it's not as cut and dry, but the upside that you have is at that point of max opportunity where you may not have that much time left in the cycle, but the cycle could actually do way more in these next 6 months than it has done in the last 2 years, right? So, while people might say in other markets, right, in TradFi, you could get the meat of the move in regards to time, and you can still get most of the market, right? You could get 80% of the time of the time in the market, and also get 80% of the move in the market. In crypto, however, you may get 80% of the time in the market, but if you miss that last 20% of the time of the market, right, you've actually missed 80% of the move of the market. Do you guys get what I mean? 80% of the move may happen in 20% of the time, especially when it comes to altcoins, right? So navigating this part requires a little bit of mental clarity, mental discipline in seeing when the time is right to exit, but also not getting spooked out at the wrong times, because that could be just as painful. I hope I explained that well. I know it's not like, if you guys go and backtest though, you'll see that a great example is Bitcoin was sitting at around, in 2017, Bitcoin was sitting around $3,000 October-ish. Come December, we had 20,000, right? But if you sat through the entire cycle and you're like, all right, I think we're ending in like around 2 months, 3 months, I'm going to exit all of my Bitcoin, you would have missed out on the 3K to 20K, right? And then also even crazier, like Ethereum went down to 126 at one point, and then by end of the year, it's sitting at 1,400. So even though you thought you missed Ethereum for the whole cycle because you missed Ethereum going from 20 to 400 at one point, well, it went down to 126, 138, 126. I remember that vividly. And then we're sitting at 1,400 in a few months. So you got a 10x at the last phase of the cycle. That's insane. Only in crypto, guys. Only in crypto. Like Sol last cycle, right? You think, oh, it's done. You never get those opportunities again. Sol did the same thing, right? Sol went back down to around 12-ish, 20 you could have entered, and then it's 200 for the last few months of the cycle. So yeah, crypto is weird like that. That's it. Those are my last final thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream.
Thank you all for tuning in. Of course, hit the likes on your way out. If there are any altcoins you guys want me to cover on the dailies, make sure to mention in the comment section below. For those of you looking to sign up for the seed program, Sean leads that program. Any of the indicators, was the dashboard, the dynamic, every single thing is on sale right now. B-Day 2025. Let me go ahead and put that banner up once again. There we go. B-Day 2025 is the coupon code. Please use it. Please use it. And yeah, in the next live stream, guys, we're going to be having another $1,000 giveaway. So yeah, make sure you guys are signing up for BitUnix, deposit 50, and voila, it's done. You get added into the mix. Your name hits the whole spin the wheel. I'm going to spin it with the drum roll and all of that good jazz. And yeah, hopefully one of you guys win on the next live stream. With this now, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. We're going to see you now in the Discord chat. Ciao, you guys.
Ciao, guys. Thank you all.